talk about zooms. Hi, how's it going? We're in my living room today. S5IIx, 6K, open gate, we're feeling great. Let's do this. Today, we'll be talking about the Canon J13X9B4 IRS2A. That is very long. So these lenses are called ENG lenses, electronic news gathering lenses. They were made for gathering the news. Who would have thought? This lens in particular is a 9 to 117 millimeter f1.6 parfocal lens, which means the lens will stay in focus while the focal length changes. These lenses were so good back in the day because they were able to capture a super wide field of view as well as a super tight close-up shot if they had to. This lens was meant to be used on a 2/3 inch broadcast camera sensor, so like tiny compared to even Micro Four Thirds. In order for this lens to be used on your Micro Four Thirds camera, your best bet is to find one with a 2x extender on it, which will cover your GH5 sensor. If your camera has a digital zoom on it, then you might be able to use it without the extender, but I'd still recommend getting one with a doubler on it. This is everything you need in order to get it to work properly. You'll need a B4 adapter, 12-volt battery pack to power the servo, 12-volt male to 12-pin high-rose cable, 8-pin to 12-pin high-rose cable, lens support, a good tripod, a monitor, and this should be obvious, but a camera. Once it's all together, you'll have to make sure the back focus is set up. Zoom in on something all the way and focus on it. Zoom out all the way, and if it's not in focus still, adjust the back focus ring until it is. And this is the Preston Digital Micro Force. You use it to zoom in and out and control the speed of the zoom with the dial on the bottom. So the Micro Force is quite expensive. If you want something cheaper, buy the Leimer ZC9 Pro. You can also buy a zoom and focus control kit that allows you to do just that, but again, it's quite expensive. If you don't think you need a controller, you can always use the servo on the lens, or you can just do it manually. This is an older lens and it wasn't really meant to be used with today's cameras. Wide open, the lens is incredibly soft, but stop down, raise the ISO, and you got yourself a nice vintage zoom lens that's not clinical, flares nicely, has character, great zoom range, and helps sell that film look even more. And most importantly, it's cheaper than other zoom lenses. There's a couple downsides with this whole setup, and one of them is that it's cumbersome. Shooting with this setup can be annoying sometimes. It's a big lens, and then pairing it with a monitor as well can make it just really heavy and awkward to hold. The second downside is that you probably shouldn't use this for everything. I only use this lens when I know I can be a little bit more creative and do what I want with the project. So if you do more corporate stuff, this might not be the lens for you. And the final downside is the image quality and it just not being a good lens to use in low light. With these clips I'm showing you here, you can just see it's just not good wide open. There's smearing, chromatic aberration, and just overall bad. Are these lenses any good? They aren't the sharpest, they aren't the best in low light, they're kind of annoying to rig up, and you can't use them for every project. If you're not too concerned about that and you just want to mess around with something that's vintage and kind of fun, then go for it. I think these lenses are great and provide something really interesting. They're good value. I mean, you can find them for cheap on eBay, and it's just awesome like doing these big long zooms. So yeah, I don't know, buy one. They're cheap, they're fun. Yeah, okay, bye.